You find yourself in a room with someone who seems disarmingly charming, a subtle smile playing on their lips, eyes that seem to pierce through your very thoughts. Their words feel like a melody, but somehow the tune unsettles you, like a siren's song luring ships to crash on hidden rocks. Why do you feel so confused? Why do their words, seemingly innocent, weigh on your mind long after the conversation ends? This is the paradox of manipulation. It wears the mask of care and reason, but carries the blade of control hidden just beneath the surface. Carl Jung, the master of the unconscious and the shadows lurking within us, foresaw these linguistic traps. His insight into the human psyche revealed how certain phrases betray the hand of the manipulator, those who seek to bend your will, not through force, but through the subtle subversion of your own trust. The manipulator does not shout. They whisper. They do not chain you with iron. They bind you with words. On the surface, this phrase seems innocuous, even reasonable. Imagine this scenario. You express hurt, disappointment, or anger over an event. Your voice trembles slightly, emotions spilling forth like water from a broken dam. The other person leans in, eyebrows slightly raised, voice calm but clipped. You're overreacting. What feels like empathy is a silent negation of your reality. Your feelings, raw and valid, are dismissed as excessive, exaggerated. The phrase is a trap, a psychological snare laid carefully to make you question your own perception. Jung spoke extensively about the shadow, the parts of ourselves we deny or refuse to see. The manipulator exploits this inner terrain. By telling you that you are overreacting, they encourage you to suppress the shadow of your own emotional truth. You start to doubt yourself, wondering if your feelings are really too much, if you're simply too sensitive. This is no accident. The phrase is a weapon cloaked in the guise of reason. Imagine your words spilling out from a wounded heart, your voice caught between anger and sorrow. When you respond, the other person replies with a calm smile and an innocent tone. "I was just joking." This phrase feels like a light excuse, a simple retreat from accountability. But in truth, it is a deadly weapon wielded by manipulators to turn pain into mockery. It tells you, don't you dare take your feelings seriously. This statement is a linguistic trap that invites dismissal and betrayal. It leads you to accept the belittling of your emotions as if you are the victim of a joke only they find funny. When this phrase is repeated, your feelings begin to fade gradually, like a mirage in an endless desert. The manipulator lurks within relationships, planting this doubt within ourselves. Jung connected this act to the peril of fracturing the self. Imagine your words spilling out from a wounded heart, your voice caught between anger and sorrow. When you respond, the other person replies with a calm smile and an innocent tone. "I was just joking." This phrase feels like a light excuse, a simple retreat from accountability. But in truth, it is a deadly weapon wielded by manipulators to turn pain into mockery. It tells you, don't you dare take your feelings seriously. This statement is a linguistic trap that invites dismissal and betrayal. It leads you to accept the belittling of your emotions as if you are the victim of a joke only they find funny. When this phrase is repeated, your feelings begin to fade gradually, like a mirage in an endless desert. The manipulator lurks within relationships, planting this doubt within ourselves. Jung connected this act to the peril of fracturing the self. Phrase 5. You can't live without me. This is the ultimate trap, the final knot that ties your freedom to the manipulator's will. It whispers dependency, weaving a web of emotional captivity. You need me. I'm the only one who understands you. These words are seductive chains disguised as love and care. Jung's work reminds us that true individuation, becoming whole, is a journey of self-reclamation. But the manipulator halts this journey by creating illusions of helplessness. When you hear, "You can't live without me," it's not affection. It's a declaration of ownership. Your autonomy is a threat, and this phrase is designed to keep you locked in a cycle of control. The danger lies in the erosion of your spirit, the slow fading of your ability to trust your own strength and instincts. A symmetrical, painterly scene viewed straight on, where two figures are entwined in an elaborate cosmic dance of glowing golden chains that loop and spiral between them. One figure glows with soft pastel light, face serene but eyes wide with trapped fear. The other radiates intense, deep purples and blues, their expression calm but commanding. The chains shimmer with iridescent highlights, twisting through floating organic shapes that resemble cosmic flowers and tendrils. The background is a vast field of rich cosmic blues and purples, punctuated by glowing stars and nebula, creating an otherworldly, hypnotic atmosphere. The scene conveys both the illusion of connection and the reality of imprisonment, with soft light illuminating the tension between dependency and desire for freedom. The silent cage of control. After the manipulator plants these poisonous phrases, you might feel trapped inside an invisible cage, one built not from iron bars, but from whispered doubts and invisible chains of words. Jung described this as the psychic prison, where your shadow grows darker and your persona, the mask you wear, tightens its grip. This cage isn't physical. It's a maze inside your mind. Every step you take is shadowed by uncertainty. Am I really too sensitive? Was it all a joke? Is it my fault? These echoes bounce endlessly, shaping a labyrinth of self-doubt. But the paradox is this: the cage only exists because you think it does. The manipulator's power feeds on your surrender, on your belief that you are powerless. The mask of the persona. Jung taught us about the persona, the mask we wear to face the world. Manipulators exploit this by encouraging you to become someone you are not: compliant, silent, overly cautious. This false self protects you from pain, but slowly erases your true identity. Every phrase that silences your feelings forces you deeper into this mask. You learn to smile when you want to scream, to nod when you want to protest. The mask grows heavier, and the light of your authentic self dims. Echoes of the shadow. The shadow is the unconscious part of the self, the fears, desires, and truths we reject. Manipulators push you to bury your shadow deeper, making you deny your own complexity. But Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The shadow must be faced and integrated. Otherwise, it grows stronger in silence, breaking the spell. The moment you recognize these phrases is the first crack in the cage. Awareness is the key that Jung believed could unlock the deepest prisons of the psyche. You begin to see that your overreacting isn't truth, it's manipulation. It's your fault isn't reality, it's control. This recognition awakens the self. Reclaiming your voice. Once the fog of manipulation begins to lift, the fragile, silenced voice inside you starts to stir. Jung believed that the path to wholeness requires reclaiming this voice, speaking your truth even when it trembles. You begin to refuse phrases like, "You're too sensitive," and instead affirm your feelings as real and valid. This act of courage is revolutionary because it defies the manipulator's grip on your reality. The mirror of projection. Manipulators often project their own darkness onto you, blaming you for their failings or insecurities. Jung explained projection as the unconscious casting of one's shadow onto others. When you realize the phrases hurled at you are reflections of their inner turmoil, It frees you from taking their accusations personally. Embracing your shadow. The path to freedom isn't just about escaping manipulation. It's about integrating your shadow, accepting the full complexity of yourself, the light and the dark. Jung taught that wholeness arises when the shadow is recognized and accepted, transforming pain into power. The dance of light and shadow. Your psyche is a dance floor where light and shadow intertwine endlessly. Jung's vision invites you to move gracefully with both, not fearing the darkness but learning its steps. Manipulation attempts to freeze this dance, trapping you in one movement, submission. True freedom is fluidity, healing through awareness. Each phrase recognized and each manipulation exposed is a wound starting to heal. Awareness floods the psychic wounds with light, dissolving toxicity. Jung believed that healing arises from conscious attention to the unconscious pain. Rebuilding the self. After dismantling the manipulator's web, you begin to reconstruct yourself, stronger, wiser, whole. Jung called this process individuation, the journey to become fully yourself, beyond external influence. The power of boundaries. Learning to say no is reclaiming your psychic territory. Boundaries protect the self from manipulation's invasive shadows. Jung emphasized that healthy boundaries allow the self to flourish without fear. The liberation of choice. Manipulators seek to trap you in inevitability, but every moment is an opportunity to choose freedom. Jung taught that consciousness is the gateway to liberation through choice. The return to wholeness. Freedom from manipulation is a return to your true self, a complex, radiant being, balancing shadow and light. Jung saw this as the ultimate healing, the union of all parts into a harmonious whole. The eternal journey. This journey is not a destination but an eternal process, ever unfolding like the cosmos itself. Jung reminds us that the self is a mystery, a dance between known and unknown, light and shadow. Recognizing manipulative phrases is a step on this path, a call to awaken, to reclaim, and to transform.